After changing my alternator, my fans wouldn't come back on. So I have to do a couple of tests. And part of that test is you can turn your key on and turn your AC on, and both fans should come on. If they're not coming on, then you need to check a couple things. They got some relays, they've got a fan temperature switch, and that would be the first thing I check, because right now I've got the ignition on and the AC on, and they're not. As you can see, I've got the AC on. You can see the AC light, you can hear it blowing, and as you saw, the fans weren't rotating at all. And at this point, both should be rotating. So next thing I'm going to check is the temperature switch. So I'll leave this on, and then I'll go and jumper the switch. And if the fans turn on, then I need to replace the temperature switch. Okay, there's the temperature switch right there. All we need to do is grab right here and squeeze and pull this off. And then we're going to jumper those two contacts in there with the safety pin. I just took a pair of cutters and cut the point and the head of it off. So I'm going to put that jumper in, and I'll show you that the fans will start working. Okay, as you see there, I've got the pin in there. The safety pin is all it is, and it's across the gray part of the contacts are in the gray section. So now I'll go in there and turn the ignition back on. We'll come back and check the fans. Okay, I got the key turned on. Now I'm getting ready to turn the air conditioning on. And this is done with the motor off during the check. Okay, you can hear it blowing. Now let's go check the fans. As you can see, the fans moving now. So both fans are spinning. See over here. Let's get a good angle. Yep, you can see that fan there. It's spinning. That's the AC fan there. Actually, that's the one that comes on with the AC. This is actually the radiator cooling fan. This is the one that comes on when the radiator gets hot. So now we're going to go and replace the sensor, and I'll have to drain the radiator and then fill it back up. So I've already started draining it. I'll show you where the petcock is to drain it, and also how to pull the temperature sensor out. Okay, right there, that's the petcock where you can open the radiator to drain it. As you can see, I'm almost completely drained. I started this earlier. I already knew it was a temperature sensor because I had checked it earlier, but thought I'd make a video so you guys could see what's wrong and how to test it. If the little jumper didn't work for you, then at that point it was really time to start looking at the relays and the fuses. So the relays and fuses are up in the upper compartment of the engine, and I'll show you that in a little bit. But right now I'm going to take the close the petcock, remove the sensor, and then tighten everything back up and put everything back together, and then I'll show you where the fuses are and the relays. Okay, this sensor is a TU197 from Autozone. I'll put a link in the description for this. And also, this baby is a 24mm socket. It's huge. The biggest I had was a 19mm, so I had to go to Autozone and buy me a 24mm socket to fit this baby. So looks like I'm going to use a 1/2-inch drive with an extension to get to it, because it looks like it takes a little length to get to it because of the frame piece that's down there. So I'm gonna get on that, take that out, and put the new one back in. So hopefully that setup right there is long enough to get across the frame piece and get to the temperature switch for the fans. Everyone calls this a engine coolant temperature sensor, but when I was at Autozone, they call it a fan switch. Before I found the right piece, just for your information. So here's the new sensor. As you see, there's a rubber gasket on there. Make sure that's there. If not, hopefully your one on the old one is good. This one looks pretty beat and pretty worn in on this one, because you'll need that seal. When you put it on, you want to just hand tighten it, and then just you put your socket on there. You just want to move it just a little bit. You don't want to tighten it real hard. Just maybe 1/8 to 1/4 turn on that to get it in there. But first you hand feed it, and then we'll be back to filling the radiator up and getting the car running with the fan switch now. This I'm probably going to have to give it a jump, because I replaced the alternator on it. Hopefully the battery has some type of charge, but I can't be guaranteed on it. Had to jump it several times last night. Okay, I got it in there about 1/8 of a turn after hand tightening it and now you gotta get this back on. It's keyed, so if I get the key on the right side now, I think it's this way. There we go. Make sure it snaps. That's good. And then now we need to screw the petcock back in over here, tighten it down to plug the radiator. And all this stuff you want to do mostly hand tight, especially this petcock. It's plastic that closes off the radiator drain. And now we're ready to fill it up. Like I said, I may have to get a jump on my battery, see how it runs. But got a new fan temperature sensor switch, and then the petcock is closed. I've drained what was in the radiator, as you can see. It kind of overheated last night, so I think some of it boiled out, because I didn't realize it was running smooth at first, and I guess the fan switch died on me, because the fans were originally running.